Okay. All right.
How impressed have you been with what Steve Fisher has done the last few years over at San Diego State?
Very, very impressed. Their new facility that they play in, I think, has helped quite a bit. San Diego speaks for itself, that city. And they, in the beginning, they had a lot of kids transfer. And those kids that transferred came in and did a great job kind of to get them going. And now recently they've been able to stand on their own 2 feet in terms of just recruiting high school kids. I mean, not even just junior college kids, but top-notch high school talent. And that's a credit to what they've done over there because they're very well respected now based on the things that have happened.
Is there anything that you can take from last year's game that'll help you on Sunday?
That we're going to have to find a way to score because they're an exceptional defensive team. Their length is something that we were fortunate enough to play a UTEP team that had great size also, but we're going to be presented with the same issues here. And I remember we experienced that last year, and I remember that.
And then how is San Diego State different from last year to this year? I mean, obviously they lose their best player from last year, but just how, this team that'll be here on Sunday, what do they look like?
Again, they're going to guard you. They're long. They have interchangeable pieces. They attack the backboards relentlessly. They get to the foul line. Anything to do with aggression, they do at a high level. Anything to do with just attacking on the offensive end, that's kind of what they do.
What did you see from your team during the tournament that you're taking away from that?
I saw a team that got down a couple of times but did not change the way it went about its business. To me, a mark of an experienced team or a poised team is one that kind of plays the same way the entire time. If they're down 20, they play the same way. They chip away, next thing you know, they've caught up. Or they're up 20. You don't see them celebrating. You don't see them relaxing, beginning to experiment. They play the same way. And that 20-point lead may turn into 30. And I saw a team that we didn't have those extremes, but we were down 9 to Long Beach State. We continued to play the right way, and we look up and we're up. We're leading UTEP, I think even double digits at some point. They come back, they take the lead, we continue to play the right way. That is very important. If we can take that throughout the rest of this year, that's going to help us win more ball games.
I think you said the guy behind you here was living in the lane in the last game of the championship. That's really what you want out of him. That's what you want him to do.
Yeah, he's a guy that gets in the paint quite a bit. He has the size, he has the decision making and the IQ to make you pay when he gets in that lane, and he has a tremendous floater that he uses to his advantage. That it's hard to block. You hardly ever see him get it blocked, and he's kind of a triple threat in the paint like that. He can pass it, he can score it, he can make the decisions that make a team get really upset that he's breaking their defense down, because a lot of bad things happen for the opposition when he does it.
And these first 6 games, if you had to put a percentage on it, how much of the high post are you running? How much are you doing just that sort of like the pick and roll up top? And any sort of the motion there as well.
When we go and we decide we're going to run a set, then probably 90% of it is the high post, when we're going to actually run a set. But what we've been able to do is flow into our motion, and when it's in a half court and we're bringing the ball up, the ball is stopped, we're usually going to run some type of set, mainly a high post type situation. But when we're free flowing and we're just running, we're running in our motion, the ball shouldn't stop, it shouldn't stick, it just continues to move.
Are you doing more pick and rolls though than
yes.
the past? Because
yes.
It seems that with Nigel that he's been really good with that.
It's important that you play to your strengths. And different years, at CJ Wilcox, you probably run a lot more single double screens. With someone like Nigel and even Andrew, you put yourself in a situation, put them in positions where they can really excel, and Nigel is one of the best in using the ball screen and how he does it. So again, we try to play to our strengths. I think Sean Kemp, Robert Upshaw, those guys have given us more productivity from the low block, but also, again, Nigel and our other guards can post up as well. So if you play to your strength, you try to get them on the blocks also.
Coach, what are you looking for with great record? Are there any areas that you're looking to improve on next couple games?
I think defensively, statistically, this is the best we've ever done. We've had other teams that force more turnovers, but in terms of limiting teams to baskets, this is best after 6 games. I can't remember us doing better, but I still think we could be much better defensively. I still think there are defensive lapses that occur within our team. I think every now and then we lose focus. I think we can do a much better job of boxing out. That'd probably be the number one thing we could be better at. But again, that's all part of defense.
Have you seen that better consistency from Robert over the last week? And I think we talked about that last time we talked. How's that progressing?
Yeah, he's doing it. I mean, he protects the basket, no doubt about it. And the thing is, I think our team has learned to play with Robert. You don't see a lot of bounce passes being thrown to Robert. I think our guys throw the ball up in the air and, make him go get it. And that's good to be able to see. Contrary to what people think, so many people ask me, what are you going to do about Upshaw and his foul trouble, getting in foul trouble so often? I spoke to a group yesterday and they asked me that question. I said, just show of hands, how many games do you think Robert Upshaw has fouled out? All of them. I said, no, he's not fouled out of all of them. He's fouled out of one. And the other game, in our UTEP game, there were some calls that I thought he was standing straight up and, they called it and he had to sit down, but he did finish the game. Aside from that, he hasn't been in foul trouble at all. So, yeah, it's something that you got to monitor and watch, but if he continues to concentrate and, be the second jumper when someone goes up, he's so good at letting them release the ball before he goes after the block. Just at times, sometimes he gets overzealous, and that ball seems like a giant juicy steak right there that he's going to devour, and they don't release the ball. He'll get fouled every now and then like that. But he's doing fine. I think he's doing a good job for us.
And is he close to that kind of peak condition you'd like to see him in? Or
He's still getting there. He's still working toward that.
The first 4 games for Sean were fantastic. The last 2, he's really sort of hit something here. Do you have an idea of sort of what's going on with him?
Well, I think, in the last couple of games, some other things happened where other guys were scoring whatever it was, and they didn't give us as much transition. He had been getting some things in transition, but we feel like there are times when he's on the block and he has a guy on his back that maybe he's not getting the ball as much as he should. And that's something that we have to take care of to help Sean out. He's posting up so hard, working so hard. We got to get him the ball down there a little more. So Sean not scoring as much as he did in the first few games, I don't put that on Sean. I put that on me as head coach. We got to make sure he gets more touches.
Is he still better in his starting lineup, or do you make a change there?
We're 6-0 and he's doing a pretty good job. So I haven't thought about a change.
It's
Still,
still
your record and their ranking. Obviously, there's more buzz about this game, but how are you looking at it in the big picture of what you're trying to do this season?
Our schedule has been great in that it's been a progressive schedule in terms of our opponents. So Seattle U was a tough one in the second game, going on the road, even though it was in Seattle. It was at their home floor. But then we go to the tournament. We play a San Jose State team that has just been okay. But then Long Beach State is a very good team, and then UTEP could be even better. We don't know. And now San Diego State is a ranked team. So the schedule has gotten tougher as we've gone on, and I think our guys have met the challenge. So that's been good. It's been good to see our team evolve throughout this young season and learn from its mistakes without suffering a loss yet. So it's been very helpful.
Is your record a surprise to you that you're undefeated?
I don't know how you ask a coach if he's surprised about he hadn't lost a game yet. No, I think, that's the plan. You go into it with the plan that you're going to win all your games, right?
Lorenzo, but there had been, obviously, this time of year you answered a lot of questions about losses earlier in the season.
Sure.
Any reason for this fast start other than talent and personnel?
I think our leadership has been outstanding. I think Nigel and Andrew Andrews have done a great job of leading. I think those are the co-captains, but you also have guys like Mike Anderson, Jannard Giroux, who are older, have been around, and are still talking about, what we need to do to be successful. I think there's been an incredible buy-in starting this July when everyone agreed, this summer, I'm sorry, when everyone agreed to stay here for the summer and work out together. That's when the initial buy-in took place. I think the bitter taste of how we ended our season didn't sit well with some guys. We got some guys that are winners on this team that didn't like that. And I think that bitter taste motivated our guys all summer. So when we show up for our first workouts and you see everybody is looking you dead in the eye and they're focused and dialed in, you can see right then and there, okay, there's a different look about this team. And everyone has the same agenda. Everyone seems to sacrifice their own personal agendas for the sake of the team. And that outlook in itself has been great. You put all that together, and then you win a game, then you win two, and then a belief really starts within your team. And I think we are developing a belief in our group right now, but you develop that because you put the time into it. You earn it. You earn it with your work prior to those games. And I think our guys feel like we've earned it.
Hey, how would you describe like the short sample size they've gotten so far from Georgia? Just seems like he's been able to come in and quickly carve out a niche for himself, like a role that's significant for you guys.
He's shooting 48% from the three-point line, I believe. He's done a phenomenal job of hitting shots. I think you watch us in practice, you watch him in games, our guys have a high level of confidence in him that he's going to knock that shot down. So they look for him, actually, and they have no problem with him being a freshman taking these shots because he's been pretty accurate. And the thing about Donovan is never in his life has he been just a standstill shooter and that's it. He's done other things, and he is capable of doing those other things. And I think as he's more comfortable, we'll start seeing him do other things other than just shoot and make threes, which isn't bad, by the way.
The last time you saw a freshman sort of come in and have that type of confidence shooting threes?
The type of confidence we're talking about, I didn't say whether they made them or not, but the confidence of shooting those threes would probably be Terrence Ross. CJ was obviously a great shooter, but coming in, I don't know if early he had that type of confidence. Terrence Ross, from the first practice, he didn't care if it were a championship game or playing at the park. He was going to shoot it like he was going to make it. And but none of them have shot percentage that Donovan is shooting. I don't think we've had a freshman to come in and shoot 48% for any amount of time from the three-point line.
When Donovan puts it all together, I mean, who is he? How's he going to play? What's it going to look like when he's a finished product?
We've talked about that a lot. The guy that played at UCLA, Jordan Adams, I thought he was he's an opportunistic scorer. He can shoot the ball, but that's not what he lives. He gets offensive rebounds. He does a lot of different things. And when Donovan is more comfortable and even in better condition, I think he's more of that type of a player. He has great size for his position. We play a lot. When he's in the game, we play with four guards. He's essentially a wing, but we play four guards a lot. And again, as he continues to get stronger and gains better condition, he will play more like a wing.
Mm-hmm.
All right,